The story begins in the chaos of 1864, in the bleeding heart of Civil War Missouri. A band of Confederate night raiders descended upon the farm of Moses Carver, kidnapping a young slave mother and her frail, infant son. By the time Moses located the bandits, the mother was gone, never to be seen again. The only thing the raiders left behind was the sickly baby. George. In a twist of fate that sounds like folklore, Moses Carver traded his finest racehorse to buy back the boy a child, who would one day save the entire Southern economy. Raised by Moses and his wife Susan as their own, George was too frail for field labor. Instead, he wandered the woods, listening to the earth. He developed such an uncanny connection with nature that neighbors began bringing their ailing crops to him. They called him the plant doctor, and he was only a child. But George wanted more than intuition. He wanted answers. Driven by an insatiable hunger for knowledge, he left home at 11. Walking 8 miles to the nearest school for black children, he slept in barns and worked odd jobs, eventually becoming the first black student and later, the first black faculty member at Iowa State College. But the prestigious labs of the North couldn't hold him. In 1896, Booker T. Washington called him to the Tuskegee Institute in Alabama with a simple challenge. "I cannot offer you money, position, or fame. I offer you hard work." George accepted immediately. When he arrived, the South was dying. Decades of planting only cotton had drained the soil of nutrients, leaving the land barren. To make matters worse, the boll weevil beetle was marching across the country, devouring what little cotton remained. Starvation loomed over the farmers. Carver proposed a radical solution: crop rotation. He urged farmers to plant peanuts and sweet potatoes, which would naturally restore nitrogen to the soil. The farmers were skeptical they couldn't eat that many peanuts, and there was no market for them. So, Carver went into his lab often, using equipment he made from trash, performed a miracle. He didn't just grow peanuts, he deconstructed them. He emerged with over 300 new uses for the peanut, creating everything from cooking oil and axle grease to ink and cosmetics. He single-handedly created a market that didn't exist, transforming the peanut into a cash crop that saved the South from economic ruin. Despite his genius, Carver never sought wealth. He famously refused to patent most of his products, turning down millions of dollars from industrialists like Thomas Edison. When asked why, he simply replied, "God gave them to me. How can I sell them to someone else?" George Washington Carver died in 1943. But his legacy wasn't just in the laboratory. He proved that genius has no color and that the humblest beginnings can lead to the greatest heights. As his epitaph reads, he could have added fortune to fame, but caring for neither, he found happiness and honor in being helpful to the world.